Hey, wanted woman, welcome to the hub. So, on today's episode, I wanted to talk a little bit about where do you find quality men? This is something that many people come to me for. Like, Coach Cass, where are all the good men hiding? I'm going to give you a couple of places and then we're going to move it out of the way, right? Yes, you can find a great man at Home Depot. Yes, you could find a great man at Whole Foods. Yes, you could find a great man at a conference, at a ball game, at a football game, at a fraternity event, at a nonprofit gala, sliding into a DM on social media, on apps, volunteering at your local nonprofit that you care about, friends of friends, barbecues and parties, on trips just by the bar or by the spa, wherever, right, is where you can find quality men. But what I know so often as a professional woman who has struggled with dating, it is less about where are the quality men hiding, but sis, where are you hiding? Where are you? What I find is that half of you is doing what? You're in your house, you working. And if you go outside, you got this serious look on your face that nobody wants to approach. On the other side is maybe 30% of y'all, and it's just like, well, I go out, I look around, but nobody's approaching me. Then there's like a 10% that's, networking, talking to people, kikiing, approaching, saying hello, doing all the things, right? And then there's a small 20% that's just dumbfounded as to how to really do this thing called love, right? Like, what do I do? I haven't dated in so long. What is that, right? And what I find across the landscape is that there are so many parameters in which you desire to find love. When we start to dig deep, I want you to be real. Don't you want it to happen in a certain way? I've gotten the statement, Coach Cass, can I just bump into him at the airport, on the subway, at the stoplight, in the supermarket? A part of you dreams to have the romantic comedy happen. It's a fairy tale. I call it rom-comitis, right? So you are suffering from rom-comitis. You are literally watching these romantic comedy studies show that it absolutely skews how you operate and see relationship immediately after watching a romantic comedy. So sis, turn the TV off, right? Turn it off. What is real is you digging deep into what are you really doing to get the love that you desire. And when we start to look at self-sabotaging patterns, when we start to look at what you really do on a day-to-day basis. I remember I spoke to one person. She said, I don't want to do apps, Coach Cass. I want to meet somebody outside. Okay, sis, how many times have you been outside? I went to a wedding. We were like 4 or 5 months into the new year. Who you gonna meet? You went to one wedding, you not one wedding, you not on any apps. Girl, you ain't trying nothing. Like what if you started a new business? You said, oh, I want to sell everybody everything. And I asked you what you did. Well, I did this one table outside a supermarket. Ma'am, that is what that sounds like. It's a problem. Ladies, you're not doing enough. Period. If you want love to happen in your life, you're not doing enough. And I'll tell you exactly what I mean. I had the joy of going to dinner the other night with my husband and another couple, right? A couple from my church, and the woman is 70 and the man is 80, right? And during dinner, we found out that they had just gotten engaged at 70, 70 and 80, 80. And so I asked, what was the story? And you know what this woman said? She said, well, I really wanted to find out about his travels because at one of the church things, he had shared that he was going on this pilgrimage across a 600-mile hike. He's 80. And it's along a route that, it comes from my culture. So I wanted to learn more. So after one of those sessions, she said, hey, can we go grab some cappuccino? She invited him to go get some cappuccino, to learn about this pilgrimage he was about to go on. And guess what didn't happen when they went to cappuccino? They didn't talk about any pilgrimage. They talked about each other. They had a really good time. And she found out that he was leaving not too far away. So she said, let's get together. He said, okay, well, maybe next week. She said, why next week? Why not sooner? He's like, oh, I didn't know if you had plans. I didn't want to be pushy. She said, no, this Tuesday's good. And you know what Tuesday was? Valentine's Day. She said, it doesn't have to be dinner. So they went to lunch at a really nice place. And he ended up going away on this pilgrimage. He was supposed to go for 3 months. Are y'all hearing me? For 3 months. After week 2, and it was rainy and not nice outside, he said, you know what I need is back in the US. And he came back. And they've been seeing each other ever since. And they both didn't know if they wanted to get married again because they had both been widowed. They weren't sure if that's something they wanted to do at their age. And so, you know what they decided to do? Get counseling. Good and wise counsel. They decided together that marriage was the legit next step, and they wouldn't wait another year because of their age. So now they're getting married in 2 weeks. Y'all, it does not have to be difficult, but I tell you what, sis wasn't waiting around to see if love stumbled over her, right? If love met her sitting in the corner, if love met her at the supermarket, sis saw something she wanted, and you know what she did? She spoke up. She spoke up. Some of you think being forward is masculine. Some of you think being forward is old school. Some of you think being forward is horrible. But I'm going to tell you right now, being forward works. And I'm not saying that you have to lay on your back to do any of it. When Andy and I first started, I guess, seeing each other, he said, you know what? Before we even went on our first date, he said, we should start getting together more often because we talk on the phone. Iron sharpens iron. Maybe get together once a month. You know what I said? I'm hungry now. If you know anything about me, I am always hungry, right? I am always hungry. So when we start to think about what we desire in our lives, sometimes a closed mouth don't get fed. So sis, if you want to eat, you got to start asking. Just say it. Go ahead, click the link to subscribe. Share this episode with somebody. In the meantime, in between time, keep loving, keep laughing, keep living. Bye.